Dear student, this is the third PowerPoint presentation on the chapter The Rise of Nationalism in Europe. Today we will discuss aristocracy and the new middle class and liberalism. The aristocracy. The aristocracy is a social class that a particular society considered its highest order. In many states, the aristocracy included the upper class of people with hereditary rank and titles. Now the landed aristocracy. It is a kind of nobility in some countries of Europe by which the land ownership was part of their noble privilege. In Europe, they were the dominant class and members of the aristocracy were united across the continent by a common way of life. Major features of landed aristocracy of Europe. There are 6 features. First, they were socially and politically very powerful and influential. 2, they were rich, educated, and belonged to high society. Third, they spoke French for purpose of diplomacy and in high society. Fourth, they owned estates in the countryside and also had townhouses. 5, their families were often connected by ties of marriage. 6, they were numerically small group. The new middle class of 18th century. From the second half of 18th century, first in Britain and then in France, the new middle class experienced rapid growth of industrialization, which accelerated trade and commerce and urbanization. With the growth of towns, new commercial classes and social groups emerged, such as working class people and middle classes. Middle class population included industrialists, businessmen, and professionals. They were educated and liberals, and that is why the idea of national unity following the abolition of aristocratic privileges gained popularity. Liberal nationalism. Liberalism means since the French Revolution, liberalism had stood for the end of autocracy and clerical privileges, following constitution and representative government through parliament. In Europe, liberalism in political terms stood for equality, freedom, formation and working of government by consent. It meant that the middle class liberals demanded for the end of monarchy and wanted the country to become republic where people had freedom to express themselves. Political liberalism also refers to people choosing their own government. Economic liberalism. In the economic sphere, liberalism stood for the freedom of markets and the abolition of state-imposed restriction on the movement of goods and capital.